I'm Mimi Mann, Associate Professor of English and Journalism at Montgomery College. In the fall of 2008, I was selected along with 12 others for the Smithsonian Fellowship, which is a special program between Montgomery College and the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. The theme of our fellowship is Lens on Social Justice. And I knew from the beginning what I wanted to do. I wanted my students in EN 101, which is college level English, to be challenged. Could they look back 50 years and could they take a definition of social justice and extend it using the lunch counter to tell a story? I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how they would react to events 50 years ago. I didn't know if they could understand what courage it took for 4 young college students, basically their same age. I didn't have the courage to go to the Greensboro lunch counter and participate in the sit-ins 50 years ago. And you know what I thought? I thought, you know what? I owe the Greensboro Force. So as I look back on this project and I look back on what we all learned, all this journey, I believe that their journey has been, for many, a life-altering journey with the idea of social justice. I think it's taken them in directions they never thought possible. I think it's made them think about issues that they never have thought about before or thought about very seldom. And this is the story of my students' journey to that lunch counter and to the Greensboro 4.
I'm gonna get my civil rights. I'm gonna get my civil rights one of these days, hallelujah. I'm gonna get my civil rights. I'm gonna get my civil rights one of these days.
To me, social justice is like being able to treat somebody the way that you want another person to treat you.
This desire that we can live in a world where you don't have to live in constant fear.
Being indifferent towards someone's race or religion or ethnicity or origin.
Where we want to work together and exist together, and grow and learn together as just one society.
To make sure that you're not simply judged because you're different.
When everyone has the same chances, the same opportunities.
Regardless of your religion, any certain beliefs, race, just being able to be accepted.
Treating everyone equally, independent of anything that has to do with that person.
It's simply that they should have the same opportunities as every other person.
Regardless of how wealthy or poor they are. That's what social justice means to me.
I thought it was just an ordinary lunch counter that college students or high school students can go just to sit down, have fun, relax. But then after Xavier Carnegie went through his performance, I was just wondering how could something as simple as a lunch counter make such a big effect on America?
Make America great! Desegregate! Make America great! They just kept sitting. Today, we can't walk into this store that claims to be everybody's store. Do not bring anything with you that can in any way be seen as a weapon. Now, protesters, as that mob is closing around on you, how will you feel? Are you determined to be free? Can you control your fear and your emotions?
I guess most people wonder, why is this in the middle of the National Museum of History and American History? So I didn't think it was anything special until I saw like the picture of the Greensboro 4 on there.
It just looked like a counter, like somewhere I would work at. But later on, as I was standing there watching, I started to think that the 4 people, something so simple, just sitting at a counter, could make such a big difference.
Having it in the middle of the room with just the 4 seats made even a bigger impact because it's just like, you know, sectioning off. It's just like four people, 4 chairs, and that's probably how they felt. Like they were the only people there and all eyes were on them.
It's just an object, but then when the drama started, it gave life to everything, and it made me understand what those people went through at that time.
It was sad to see, you know, people would treat each other that way.
Being able to see the scuff marks at the bottom of the booth, knowing that these are the exact 4 seats where the Greensboro 4 felt, kind of gave you a connection.
If you stop, like literally just for a second, and look at it, without knowing anything about the history of it, without knowing how it's attached to the Civil Rights Movement or the Four Men or Greensboro, North Carolina or Woolworths or any of it, there's something really powerful about the way it looks.
That display at the museum really showed me and showed a lot of us the impact that they had.
People today, you know, young kids like us today, like we wouldn't probably be able to go to restaurants or even sit with our friends, you know.
I would want to talk to David Richmond only because he was the only one that had to stay back in Greensboro. And I would ask him, after staying in Greensboro, after the lunch counter event, how did it make him feel and how did Greensboro change after the event?
I think I want to talk to Franklin McCain because he was my focus group, and I want to hear from him what he really felt when he was sitting there all of that days, and then I want to hug him and tell him thank you.
I would like to meet Jabril Kazan because he just seems to have a big personality, outgoing, and I feel like he has a lot of insight on life, and it would be just nice to talk to him.
I would really like to meet Franklin McCain. He seems like a very passionate, intelligent man who has like a razor line of thought. Almost like there's a waterfall of ideas and concepts going on behind his eyes.
I would like to meet Issa Blair because I kind of can't relate to him because he was the quiet one of the group, and he was always the one person that, you know, was close to their parents and would always ask their parents for something. So I would like to talk to him and see what prompted him to do what he did.
It takes a lot of effort to actually be able to go out and do like what they did over there with the sit-ins, be able to go in despite all the odds that were against them.
It wasn't just one snap of finger, like let's go and do this. It was a process that they really worked for, and they really planned and took everything into consideration.
I really want to thank the Smithsonian because I don't think people in this area recognize how fortunate we are to actually have a resource like that. Forget a resource, to have an accumulation of American, human, you name it, history.